Hey, how are ya? Let's get this set up and give people a minute, unless you're watching as a recording and you're already here. Well, welcome. Happy day, how are you? What have you learned today? I am curious to know. So, hi Karen, how are you? How's your day going? And what's happening? What's the one thing you've learned today? Kelly, I'd love to hear what you've learned today. What's an insight that you've had on this special day? What insight has been made clear to you today? And that goes for everyone. But Kelly, I'm really interested to hear what yours is. I'd love to hear you answer that. So, what insight have you had? What have you learned so far? What have you learned so far this year? I'm going to go through something really smart today that I picked up, an insight of your why. So we're going to talk about your why and how to create your why and how to create some power behind your why. We'll come to that in a minute. Sort myself out here. So what have you learned? What have you learned today? What have you learned from Health, Wealth, Life? What have you learned from... hi Alicia. What have you learned from these videos? I'm curious to know. Very curious to know, in fact. So tell me. Pop it in the comment box while I'm messing about here. We'll get straight to it in a minute. Just going to give it 30 more seconds till everyone turns up, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Sorry about the noise. I'll be with you. Here we go. Nearly there. Right. Okay, so I want to share something with you. How do we choose our why? How do we choose our why? So, why do you have your whys? What's your reason behind your goals? What's your number one goal? So if you want to share your goal, pop it in the comment box below. What's your number one goal for this year or this day or this week? What is it? I'm curious. Pop it in. Can you share it? When you speak it out loud, it calls you into action a little bit more as well, because you spoke it out loud. So 1% every day. Brilliant. So 1%, 365. Claudette, good to see you again. We're making this a regular thing, which is great. So what's your goal? What's your main goal this year? Or maybe you've got one for this month. Maybe you've got one for this week. What is it? Put it in the comment box below, or just think it in your mind. Either way, if you don't want to share it, that's cool. So it's worth going through some processing of why we have a why and how to stick to our why. Because sometimes, we can set ourselves say a body transformation. That's a really obvious one, and obvious I bring that up a lot, but because that's my field, that's my work. But a lot of the time we can start with, eating really well, training really well, and then we drop off track. Why? Why does that happen? And how do we keep that on track? Well, there's a few things. I'm going to offer a few solutions for you there. We'll stack some solutions around that. But I think, first of all, it's very good to get an understanding of the psychology behind something, and then we can understand it a little bit more, and then we can go straight to the heart of what works and what doesn't work, and we can take out what doesn't and put in what does. Makes sense, yeah? Makes sense. So if I say anything that resonates or helps you out or could help someone, give me a thumbs up, give me a share. Sharing is caring. Always interested to know I'm on track. And I always say that, right? So give me a share. So let's get some clarity around this. And when you do get some clarity, it holds and solidifies your why and gives you oomph. That's what I'd call it. Gives you some oomph and just keeps you going. Gives you momentum. All right, so here we go. Here's the quick one today. Quick lesson. So if I said to you, I'll give you 20 quid, right, to walk across a plank. Yeah, so walk across a plank that's on the floor. All right, that's you. And I want you to walk across the plank on the floor for 20 quid. Would you do it? Alicia, Claudette, would you do it? Karen, Kelly, would you do it? It's a no-brainer, right? It's on the floor, no problem, no danger. Walk straight across, 20 quid, no problem. All right, so... Is that right? 20 quid, right? Now, same thing, exactly the same thing. If I offered you 20 quid to walk across that same plank, exactly the same, it's very stable, but I offered you 20 quid to walk across that where it's a building. And you're like, "100 feet, 100 feet in the air," yeah? Does that make sense? So I offer you 20 quid to walk across the same plank, but now you're 100 foot up in the air. Would you do that? You think about it, right? And you think, nah, it's not worth the risk. If a gust of wind comes, you're going to get taken off, you're going to lose your life. Not worth it, right? Now, the thing is, this is, when your why is easy, this 20 quid, no problem, no danger. Here's danger. We've got a challenge, right? So now we're thinking it's not worth it. So your why is like, nah, I'm not going to do it. But watch this. Begin with your why. Is that Simon Sinek? Simon Sinek idea. Is that it? Virginia, good to see you. Would you walk, Claudette, would you walk across the plank 100 foot high? It's a slight risk for 20 quid, right? 20 pounds if there's anyone who's not living in England. 20 pounds. All right, so here's the next bit. If I said you've got someone you love, I should have done this a bit bigger. See, that's a heart. So the person you love most, the person you love, that's a good book, Heidi, Simon Sinek, quality book. So if the person you love most is now over here, and this is on fire, right? So this is on fire, and I said, if you walk across that plank, you wouldn't even think about it, right? The person you love most, you just go straight across the plank, pick them up, straight back again, right? Simple, yeah? So because why? Because of your why. Because your why had such an intense emotional feeling to it. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that made sense, or say yes in the comment box. So here, easy, no brainer. You got 20 quid, walk across a plank that's on the floor, no problem, no brainer. Same plank, put it on top of a building that's 100 feet high, in between two buildings. Would you then still walk across it? You probably wouldn't. It's not worth the risk. Stick someone that you love the most, the person you love most in the world, on this side of the building, and it's on fire. But if you go across, you can go and save them and bring them back again. You wouldn't even think about it, because your why. Because your why has emotion. Makes sense, right? Let me get it in an angle so you can see it all, and me. Cool. All right, so that's what we want to do. That's the understanding. That's the psychology behind your why. When you have a big enough why, you'll find a way. Doesn't matter what's going on. Doesn't matter if you're on top of a 100-foot building and there's a gust and it's a windy day and you're going to get blown. If you've got a big enough why, you're just going to go. You're going to risk it all to make it happen. You're going to put emotion in there because there's already emotion in it, and you're just going to bring that into the game. And we already know that when you bring emotion into the game, that solidifies it. Conscious competence, bring emotion, repeat. And that's how we're going to win in this game called life. When we have a big enough why. So how do we do that? Let's think about that. If it's a body transformation, how do we get into that state? How do we bring that emotion? Now we need to think about all the things that can be affected by you being in the best shape of your life. First of all, let's start within. Yeah. So you look at yourself. You're going to have self-confidence. You're going to look at yourself and think, wow, you've done really well. You've resisted some really tasty things, and you've really trained when you didn't feel like it. You got up when you didn't feel like it. You did things when you were tired. But now look at you. You look amazing. You look at yourself in the mirror, you'll be proud, and you'll generate that why. And you'll think, I've got some self-confidence. And when you go out, that's going to show. That's going to show. How can this thought pattern impact your dating and your relationships? So if you're looking for a date, or if you're dating right now, or if you're in a relationship and you're married right now, either way, how can this, if you have if we think about your why and all the positive things that could happen around you being in the best shape of your life ever, looking in the best shape of your life, feeling in the best shape of your life, performing in the best shape of your life, how can that impact your dating and your relationships? Think about that question. How could it impact? Give me some answers in the comment box. Now, on another level, how could being in the best shape of your life, physically, mentally and emotionally, because it all goes together and we'll all get it rocking once we get going, how can that impact your business and your finances? How could that impact your business and your finances, right? So we just talked about it. You're looking in the mirror, your self-esteem goes because you look amazing and you feel amazing. You know you can perform well and you've been getting better and better and better. Now, when you go out and have a business meeting, people say, whoa, this person means business. They're like serious. They look the part. They got their strength, they got confidence. I'm having a conversation on one of my questions on social media with a couple of ladies, and I've just said they've said a few times now what they dislike. So they're sharing what's happened, and maybe it's their experience, so it's real. But what I'm saying is, tell me what you really want. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you really, really want. So write down and be clear about the exact thing that you do want. Because otherwise we're pushing the brain thinking about things that happened that we didn't like, and that's what we bring more of. Whatever the brain focuses on is what we'll see more and more. And you cannot see something that you're not looking for. So let's direct our brain by looking where can we do the smallest little things, stack them up, stack solutions to help with our fitness and our wellness and our health, help with our physical body, help with our mental clarity, help with our emotional state. Raise it all up. Where can we do that? Well, bringing in your emotion into your why. So let's take a moment. You're looking in the mirror, you're looking great, you're feeling great, your self-esteem goes up. Now, other people look at you, maybe you're dating, maybe you're married, or somewhere in between, and the person you're with looks at you and thinks, they're looking cool, they look sexy, they look great, man or woman. They're looking at you thinking, wow. And you know what? The other thing that come up in that conversation, and also here, the clear point to be made is when someone sees you making those adjustments and making those improvements to yourself in your life, they respect you. They respect you. There's no way they will disrespect you, because you'll be like, don't need that in my life. I've got better things going on. And then when you have that happen, that people just won't treat you that way. They won't treat you that way because they'll think they're not going to take it. They're not going to take it. People can only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Does that make sense? Yeah, do you understand that? So when we think about when we're going into a body transformation, or when we're going into a business meeting, or when we're going into setting up a business plan, or when we're going into a date, or we're spending time with a loved one, let's think about the emotional impact behind that. Just spend a moment if you really want to make a shift in that area of your life. I'm not talking about you just having another day in your life and want to just mosey on through it. Fine, do that. But if you want to create a shift, if you actually want to take yourself to greatness, guide yourself to greatness, then we need to do some certain things. We need to do some very specific things. Now, one of them is to get into an emotional state of security and the peak state that you want. So the peak state in this one, let's say this is a body transformation. We're going to use this, right? So you're going to think, I'm picturing myself now in my best state. How's that going to make me feel? I'm going to get the blood flowing. I'm going to feel confident. My chest is going to be up. I'm going to be smiling. And when I meet people, I'm going to transfer that vibe onto them. And they're going to think, oh, I like this vibe. I like spending time with this person. They're really upbeat. And they might not be in the perfect position right now, but they're surely going there. They're going there. And if I hang around with them, they're going to pull me with them. And I want some of that. And that's the same. If you can get your health and your wellness sorted, that's the same. It's going to affect your business and your finances. It's going to affect your dating and your relationships. No doubt. And you might not be in the perfect shape and the perfect form right now. Maybe we never will be, but we're getting better. We're getting better every day. And that's the point of it. And then what we need to do is step back, think about the emotion, get ourselves in that physical state, in that mental state, in that emotional state, and then go and have the day. We need to think about the repercussions. The drop a pebble in the pond, and all those ripples are going to go out across your life, no doubt. So, what drives you? What drives you? Is it your family? Do you want to, whatever the transformation is in your life right now, where you want to improve, move yourself from good to great, move yourself from mediocre to great or above? Move yourself up. Just shift it up a couple of notches. Is it your family? Do you want to do it for your son, your daughter, for your loved one, for your mum, your dad? Who do you want to do it for? Think about them. Think about them. And if you achieved your body transformation, or you achieved your business goals, or you achieved your finance goals, or you achieved, you found your perfect partner, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, and you're focused on that, choose one priority, put it up there, and then think, how can that impact the person I love the most, or the people I love the most? Your children, your family, your friends. How's it going to impact them? And if I get that, if I reach that goal, when I reach that goal, how much happier are they going to be? Because it's not just going to affect you, it's going to affect everyone. So let's bring that in. Let's bring that state in. Money. Maybe money's your goal. Maybe money is your driver. Maybe you think you want, maybe it's yourself, Claudette. So you do it for yourself. But what I want you to do with that, that's where I started, right? Start with yourself. So you feel the self-confidence, so you feel happy, you got a smile on your face, you feel great, you look great. Now, let's expand that out as well. And think, when you're in that state, how many other people can you help make happier, be slightly happier in that day? Maybe you have children, maybe you have a mum and dad who are close by, or you talk to them on the phone or Skype. So yeah, maybe freedom is your driver, right? So we want to be free to spend time with who we want, when we want, as much as we want, and where we want. Maybe we want to take 2 or 3 of your most closest friends and family to an island, a beautiful island, and just spend a week with them there. Who'd want to do that? I want to do that. Imagine taking your closest friend, having the ability, the freedom to take your closest friends all off paid trip, first class, flying, boom, to this island. And you've got the place to yourself. And there's the beach. And you've got waiters and waitresses. And they're just there to make your whole experience amazing. You're eating the top food. You can train if you want. You can sleep if you want. You can do what you want. Imagine being able to do that. Imagine having the body of your dreams. You can just look amazing in clothes, but if you're not in the clothes, you look even just as good or even better. Imagine that. So whatever your driver is, think about what your driver is. Is it family? Is it money? Is it success? You want to be successful. And then you think, right, I want to be successful. But if I'm successful, how's that going to make me feel? I'm going to feel like, where's the feeling? The feeling is going to come from the pit of my stomach. It's going to rush up through my throat, through my head, out my head, down and round and back in, just below the belly button, and that's going to round and round like that. Get that feeling going, and then think, how would I be breathing? What does that smell like? What does it sound like? Get those feelings going and figure out what is your driver. And then you need to get in that state before we get there, and then go out and stick to your why, stick to your goal. That when you've got your why, you'll find a way. Because there'll always be blockages, there'll always be temptations to do the opposite. All that stuff's going to go on. Is it freedom? I wrote that down. Is it for your partner? Maybe you want to do something for your partner. But whatever it is. So here's the question. Remember, we lead the brain with questions. It's one of the most powerful ways to do it. We need to bring emotion to it. So I want you to get in there and feel this emotion. I'm bringing it to you, bringing it for you. And let's do this together. So here's the question. We lead our brain. How can my health and fitness and wellness positively impact my money and business, or dating and relationships? How can my health, wellness and fitness positively impact my money and business, or my dating and relationships? How can I? Let your brain come up with the answers. Do me a favor. Cameron, hello mate, good to see you. Do me a favor, write that question down. You can put it in the comment box here. Someone write it in here. So type it out. Write it down as well by hand. Good. Build confidence. Build confidence. That is the key. So write it out by hand as well, not just type it. So someone type it in here. You can all type it if you want. Type it in the comment box. And do me a favor and write it out before you go to bed tonight. And let your brain mull that over in your sleep. How can my health, my wellness and my fitness positively impact my business and money, and my dating and relationships? How can my health, wellness and fitness positively impact those areas of my life? Write it down. Someone type it out so we've got it here for everyone to see. Pop it in the comment box. And do me a favor and write that out a few times by hand. Just once will do, but you can do it a few times if you really want to drill it home. But do that just before you go to bed. Piece of paper, just pop it out and let your brain mull that over through the night. Builds my confidence, gives me energy and make my mind focus on positive things. Exactly. Productivity. What do you mean by that, Cam? So to be more productive, or you think you'll be more productive when you're healthier and more fitter and feel even more well, if that makes sense? Is that what you mean? So more productive? Totally, right? Totally. That's why I say like health is the core of all this stuff. You need to get your health. If you haven't got your health, thank you, Alicia, that's perfect. So how can my health, my wellness and my fitness positively impact my life? But remember those two specific areas, positively impact my dating and relationships, or my business and my finances, or money if you want, my business and my finances, or dating and relationships, because they are two real emotional areas in our lives for everyone. And health and fitness is, right? So that's the core. So when you don't have your health and your wellness, I don't think you have anything. You know, when you've got an upset stomach, I totally agree with that, Cam. The healthier you are, the more productive you are, totally. That's why this, you know, this has to be the core. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. When's the last time you had an upset stomach? Could you concentrate on anything? Could you get any good work done that day? Could you have a good conversation with anyone? Could you enjoy the company of your partner who you love spending time with? No, you couldn't do it. Right? So if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Yeah? So that's the gist. That is the core for me, you know. It's health and wellness, and for me that's happiness. You can't be happy without that. Carmen, good to see you. Good to see you. And Urbanus, hello mate. How's LA? Right. So if you missed some of this, it's really important. We drove in your why. So if you have a strong enough why, you'll find a way. And I gave a little example of drilling the why. So let's just recap. If I give you 20 quid to walk this plank on the floor, you'd do it, no brainer. If I put that plank over the top of a building, 2 buildings in between, 100 feet high, and I said 20 quid, walk the plank, it's a windy day, you'd be like, not sure if I'm going to do that. If I said the person you love most is on the other side and the top of this building is on fire, you'd be like, straight across, bring them back across without thought. 20 quid or not, you'd do it, right? Why? Because you had emotion in that why. Now, how can we bring more emotion into our why? If your why is a body transformation, we've talked about it, look at yourself in the mirror. How can you get that emotional state for you of what the body transformation is going to mean for you? Confidence, feeling great, self-importance, and self-confidence and self-image. And how does that then translate out? How are you going to make, you know, you're going to have a happy vibe. All your friends, your family, your kids, your friends, clients, colleagues, everyone you meet is going to be lifted because of it. Anyone you spend time who's in that vibe and that state is like, whoa, I like spending time with this person. They're on their way. And then how's it going to impact your business and your finances? How's it going to impact your dating and relationships, right? That's the whole gist. That is the recap of it all. All right, that is the lesson. That's the insight that I gained today that I'm sharing with you. And any thoughts, any questions, pop them in. And do me a favor, write in the comment box right now, write down the #1 thing that you got out of this message that I shared today. Please do that for me, because then when we look back at the comments, we can see clearly what the video was about. That really helps. So do me a favor and write that down in the comment box for me. What's the thing that you got from this? Just a quick thing. Type it in the comment box for me now. Do that right now, please. Thanks, Heidi. Lise, is that, did I say your name right? Lise. If you feel good, you will be better. You will be better to anything you do. If you feel good, you will be better at everything you do. Got it. I got it. I'll get there in the end. I can read, I promise. If you feel good, you'll be better at anything you do. Exactly. But how do we do that? How do we feel good when things aren't going so well? I think we need to cut that off before the curve. So what I say is brain train. This is what I'm going to name it now, because I remember we had the, if you didn't look at the ones about emotions, Kate, this is the video for you we start talking about. So this is your why, yeah? So if we did, remember the video about meditation? I'm going to call it brain train. I'm not going to use the word meditation because I talked about that. I think a lot of people have a negative connotation. They switch off when they hear meditation. So let's call it brain train. So every morning I do some brain train. Let's cut it off before we have any negative impacts come. So I say brain train first thing in the morning, as early as you can. Get up early if you need to. If you need to be somewhere at 5, you get up at 4, you get up at 3:30, whatever needs to be done, right? But you brain train in the morning. And I find if I don't get out of the way early enough, then it does get more difficult. Emotion, drive, passion, result. Perfect, Cameron. Well put. Thanks, mate. So type in the box what you got from this message. Cameron, thank you for doing that. Everyone else, what did you get from this message I've given out today? Give me the one thing that the message you got. Could be 1, could be 3, could be 5, whatever it is. Pop it in the comment box for me now. Type it out. Go, go, go. What was I saying? Distracted. So this question I'm going to leave you with. We lead the brain with questions, the most powerful way to do it, and we bring emotion to it, right? We need to bring a bit of emotion, not be too English if we're all English on it. If you're American, you can do this a little bit better than us. You can get excited, you can bring the emotion a little bit easier than us. Us English are a little bit upper lip. Oh yes, we're going to do things very properly. So I'm working on that. I want to bring more emotion because it helps it stick. Remember the way we master something? We need conscious competence, we need emotion, and we need repetition. That's it. Right, Pamela, good to see you. Lise, you got passion. Claudette, you got connection with myself. Kate, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going wrong. I do it at lunchtime, brain time in the morning. Yeah, get up earlier. Get up 15 minutes earlier and do it. Simple as that. I think, you know, it's too late if something negative happens, which is, as we go through the day, the potential of something negative happens, if it hasn't happened already, is more likely to happen. Maybe it won't, but the potential gets higher, right? Because more stuff's happening. It's as simple as that. And we get a 50-50 chance. Or whatever the percentage is. Doesn't matter. But more likely, right? So let's catch it let's nip it in the bud before. Let's get ourselves in the state we want to take us to the goals we want to achieve before anything negative could potentially happen. And then we're going into that state like, whoa. And then if someone is negative and a bit, I'm going to pull this person down, then you're already like, bam, what? Yeah, you ain't pulling me down. Bam, get away. And they just bounce straight off like water off a duck's back. Lise, catch you soon. Come back. All right, I'm going to finish on that today. So we started talking about brain training in the end, but that's what I'm going to call meditation from now on. Because look at my meditation post if you want to know more about that. And I also gave my story behind why I brain train, why I meditate every day, about my migraines and how I got rid of them and I don't get them anymore, touch wood. And also gave you my technique. Around that. So if you're watching through Facebook, skim through, you'll see that. It'll be about meditation, or I can't remember the title of it. If you remember, pop it in there, or I can look it up. Skim through and find that one, or if you're on YouTube, skim through and find it there. You'll be watching it through one of those. All right, how can my health, my wellness, and my fitness positively impact my dating and relationships, or my business and my finances? That's the question I'm going to leave you with. Right. Oh. Got a buzzer to call someone. Write that out and let your brain mull that over. Let it bring up the answer for you. Now, if you have a powerful enough why, you'll always find a way no matter what happens. Let's get your why powerful. Let's bring some emotion in there and you'll always find a way. Try that out. Kate, you talked about your why. I've given you some answers in here. Tell me what you think about that. Touch wood is like... superstition for, you know, you touch wood to say I'm not jinxing it. That's the way I know it. Touch wood, that doesn't happen. That's the way everyone I know uses it. Anyway, interesting. I'll look that up actually. Good to know. All right. Thank you for joining, guys. I will see you all tomorrow at 6 p.m. Have an amazing rest of the day, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Take great care of yourself and everyone around you. Remember, happy is a skill that you can learn, and this is a better way to bring out your personal best. Let's go get some health, wealth. Let's take the world with us. Give me a share, give me a thumbs up, bring a friend to the party tomorrow, and I'll see you all there. Take care.